CNN News 18 has been in hot pursuit of one of the biggest scamsters of India, Nirav Modi. For months, he has been tricking the system and hoodwinking the authorities as well. After revealing that Nirav Modi holds 2 Indian passports, CNN News 18 exposes how the scamster managed to trick the system. Nirav Modi got a new passport even before the old one expired. Legally, Passport 1 should have been issued once Passport 2 becomes invalid. However, in this case, Passport 1 was issued much in advance. In total, 6 passports were issued by the Regional Passport Office in Mumbai. 5 of them were issued in lieu of the old passports getting expired. However, the latest one that we are talking about was issued before the expiry of the other. And that's the big story that we're breaking right here on CNN News 18. Ashish Mehrishi, who's bringing us the story, is joining us from the newsroom in just about a bit. But for the past 1 week, we've been relentless in our pursuit. We're following the story in much detail. We're on top of the story. We've been in hot pursuit of one of the biggest scamsters of the country, Nirav Modi. For months, he's been hoodwinking the system. He's been tricking the system, hoodwinking authorities as well. Ashish Mehrishi joining us from the newsroom. Ashish, the biggest question here is the fact that not that he has so many passports, the fact that the Regional Passport Office in Mumbai has issued him a passport even before the last passport of his has expired.
In fact, this is very surprising, Chaiti. There is no doubt about it. Yesterday we revealed on how he was tweaking his name in the second passport, the latest one that was issued. Now, if you see in the first passport, his name mentioned is Nirav Deepak and his surname is Modi. But in the passport which was recently issued, it shows as Nirav Deepak Modi is his full name. That is the name that has been written. And in the surname column, it is absolutely empty. Now, if you go in the other passport, the father's name, again it has been tweaked. In one passport, it mentions as Deepak Keshavlal Modi. In another passport, it mentions as Modi Deepak Lal Modi Keshavlal Deepak. So there is no doubt about it that he was basically planning to exit India, and that is why he planned such a thing. Now, if you go through all the data that we have been able to access, it was in the month of May 2008 that a passport was issued, which was supposed to get expired in May 2018. So this was for 10 years that this passport was issued. Now, in a usual case, once the passport gets expired, then only you get a new passport. But here, at least a year before this passport got expired, on 9/5/2017, that is May 2017, a passport was issued which had a valid date for 8/5/2027. So, this is again for 10 years. So, it's essentially, if you see legally, a passport is only issued once the earlier one get expired.
So there's been an overlap, you're saying?
Yes, it means he had 2 passports, valid passports, through which he was, moving from one place to another, one country to another, and it was because of this reason that, this question mark, even the Indian agencies were perplexed on why, Deepak Modi was able to travel on a revoked passport. So this is the reason he had 2 valid passports. Those 6 passports were issued, but most of them were issued in lieu of the earlier one getting expired.
Right.
But here, the passport did not get expired, and despite that, a new passport was issued by the Regional Passport Office.
Hold on to that thought, Ashish. In fact, sources are indicating that all the passports that have issued to Nirav Modi have been cancelled and or revoked by the concerned passport issuing authority, or the PIA, in the Ministry of External Affairs. New passports, according to them, were issued in lieu of the old passports. But however, Ashish Mehrishi has seen the passport with his own eyes, where there has been an overlap in the passports as well. Ashish, we are coming back to you. You've got the Ministry of External Affairs going ahead and revoking these passports as well. Well, a man can have 6 passports in case your passport gets expired. You and I can have them too. But when we go ahead and apply for a passport when our old passport is still valid, that's just not a possibility, which means there's a larger connivance as far as the Regional Passport Authority in Mumbai is concerned in being able to even issue Nirav Modi this passport, right?
In fact, there have been anomalies as well in the passport, which was within both the passports. As we've already shown, names, father name, he's tweaked it. to perfection, I must say that, because the tweaking was so simple, simple, but it was difficult to catch that, by tweaking the name and tweaking the surname, tweaking the father name, he was able to basically hide his identity, create another identity basically. But here the big question mark is, yesterday the Ministry of External Affairs reacted saying all passports were issued, they accepted that multiple passports were issued, but then they said it was issued only because the earlier one got expired, and it was in lieu of the expired passport that a new passport was issued.
There is a deliberate oversight which has facilitated these multiple passports for Nirav Modi as well, given the fact that the other one was issued even despite his old passport was still valid, which means there was some sort of a deliberate attempt on the Passport Authority of India. And why is it that they're not being pulled up for this? What is the action being taken against
that
them?
is what is surprising. Since yesterday we have been bringing it to the notice of Ministry of External Affairs. This is absolute cheating, because you've cheated the government of India, you've hidden your identity, you've created dual identity, because a passport is in itself a valid document which identifies your identity. Here he has cheated, but I have not seen the Ministry of External Affairs or the Regional Passport Office instituting an inquiry or registering an FIR. If you and I would have done something like this, an FIR would have been launched by now. But here I'm surprised at why Ministry of External Affairs till now has not registered an FIR.
That's the big question. That's the big question. Why is it that an FIR has still not been registered? We broke the story yesterday, Ashish, and till now there's been no action that has been taken. In fact, some reactions coming in there. The Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress both said that the entire issue is an organized conspiracy. Let's hear into their reactions and we go back to Ashish for more.
You know how passports are issued. I mean, there is police verification, your records are there. I mean, there is a whole, very, very tight due diligence is done. Clearly, everything has been willfully ignored. I mean, there has been a deliberate, shall we say, oversight, which has basically facilitated these multiple passports for Nirav Modi. These can only happen when there is an organized conspiracy involving both the political system and the bureaucracy and the police.
Yeah, I totally agree with Sanjay Jha's statement saying that this is absolutely organized and so on and so forth, and cannot happen without the hands of someone someone of an insider. Now, the beauty of this is that these things are coming out in a very, very timely fashion because we have actually decided to investigate the matter and Nirav Modi's connections with the Congress. Government cannot be held responsible entirely for something like this, because this is a systematic issue.
Well, Vaibhav Agarwal going on their record to say that the government cannot be held responsible because this is a systematic issue. If that is the case, then Ashish, the question really is, we broke the story at 8 a.m. yesterday in the morning. Till now, there's been no action that has been taken. No FIR has been filed. The Regional Passport Office in Mumbai not been pulled up as well.
Very surprising, because yesterday, first when we broke the story, the Ministry of External Affairs was not even ready to accept that multiple passports were issued. But slowly, as the day proceeded, they accepted that multiple passports were issued. But then a statement came that multiple passports have been issued in lieu of the earlier one getting expired. But here we are showing that the earlier one did not get expired, and despite that, a passport has been issued. So we are still expecting a reply from Ministry of External Affairs on how can you issue that, and that too, there is absolute discrepancy in the name column, in the surname column, in the father's name column. So it is very clearly evident that Nirav Modi had planned his exit much in advance. He was aware that he is doing a fraud, and he might require 2 passports to exit. So that is the reason he has got 2 passports with him, very clearly identifying that in one case at least his surname column is absolutely empty, and it mentions Nirav Deepak Modi as his name, and in the another passport it mentions Nirav Deepak as his first name, and the surname is Modi in that.
Ashish, you've been talking to lawyers as well since yesterday. What is the legal recourse that they are suggesting?
No, I believe the legal recourse is very simple. The government of India has to take a call. They have to register an FIR against people who actually helped him in getting these two passports, because a person like you and me will never get two passports. We can only have one passport, and if we want another one, the current one has to get expired.
Ashish, we're getting some breaking news that's coming in. Just hold on right there. We're taking the news that's coming in right now. The Minister of State. We're getting breaking news coming in right there. Kiren Rijiju has targeted Congress for destroying Kashmir after politics erupted over the Bharatiya Janata Party's decision to end the alliance with the PDP in the state. Rijiju says, and I quote him, this is what he's gone on to say, Sardar Patel ji solved all other regions. Nehru ji took charge of Kashmir and created more trouble. Thousands of people were killed. Kashmiri Pandits were slaughtered, while more than 160,000 were forced out. Your family and party ruined Kashmir, and you are accusing the Bharatiya Janata Party, unquote. That's exactly the words of Kiren Rijiju, going straight across to our political editor. Maria, what do you make of the statement which is coming in from the Minister of State for Home, Kiren Rijiju?
You know, if you would remember what Ghulam Nabi Azad had to say, Ghulam Nabi Azad, who is from the state of Jammu and Kashmir, also the leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha, he had been rather scathing. He had said that this was an unholy and an unnatural alliance, and that he's happy that it has ended. But the larger question, of course, was that he was, would the Congress really come and support Mehbooba Mufti in ensuring that the government perhaps is formed in the state of Jammu and Kashmir? The Congress had outrightly rejected it, and now Minister of State for Home Affairs, Kiren Rijiju, is saying that it is perhaps the policies of the previous Congress regime and the previous Congress government that is responsible for the chaos in the valley, that is responsible for, it was largely the policy of dynasty that had led to this kind of killings or of innocent youth in the valley. And hence, the Kashmir script that went wrong perhaps started because it was the Congress that had been there.
All right. Thanks much, Mario, for that quick perspective right there. That was the breaking news that is coming in. We'll stay on top of the story. Now, moving on to the other big story that concerns the nation.